Okay, so I just want to show you some Zimbabwe currency here. As you know, it's extremely valuable. As you can see, uh, there's a $10 trillion note, and there's a stack of some of those right here. Some nice $10 trillion notes in pretty good condition. Some of these are circulated. Something I want to point out is how few of these were actually printed. For the 10 trillion, as an example, they never went past the AA prefix, if you can see that AA prefix. And then there's only 7 numbers after that, so they actually stopped printing these about 6.5 million. They only printed about 6.5 million of these $10 trillion banknotes, which isn't that much. Now, if you take, for example, a U.S. banknote, like this $100 Federal Reserve note, it has HF prefix, then it has 3, 6, 8 numbers after that, so another possible 100 million, as well as that being, so 100 million in just the HF prefix, and then there's also a C prefix at the end. So they probably printed about, a trillion of these $100 banknotes, probably just this year, because we're actually in a higher hyperinflation than Zimbabwe, which is because they stopped at the AA prefix on a lot of these notes. Here's some $100 million notes. As you can see, again, the AA prefix, and they stopped printing these during the AA prefix. I think they printed about 6 million of these $100 million banknotes, which isn't that many. Also, we have some $200 million notes, which I have quite a lot of. Again, AA prefix, and they didn't print more than about 6 million of these, which is nothing, for a huge economy like Zimbabwe or the U.S. when we move into the Zimbabwean dollar. There's going to be a huge scarcity of these. So, also we have the $50 million banknotes. Again, only the AA prefix, the first run of these, they only printed about 5 million of these. And remember, with this, we're already at HF prefix, so at AB, AA, AB, AC, AD, on and on until it got to HF, printing about 100 million of these at a time. So that's quite a lot. They probably printed about 200 trillion of these or something, I estimate. So you can actually see that our hyperinflation is much worse. Here's the $5 billion notes. Now, in the $5 billion notes, they did actually go into the AB prefix. So there's about 15 million of these have been printed. But still relatively few. So these really carry a high value, and pretty sure we'll be moving into these notes pretty soon, as it's a more stable currency than the U.S. As you can see, they carry a large value, $100 million. And they're they're colorful, and they're more beautiful than this boring U.S. dollar notes that have some ugly guy in the front. I don't know who he is, but he's not very important. Here we have very vibrant colors and some really interesting building there, and of course the Zimbabwean monument there. These are more colorful and interesting, and they have some security features, as you can see. It's got the security strip and the security stamp. Of course, so do these, but they printed about 200 trillion of these, and so there's just too much paper money out there in U.S. dollars. It's going to collapse, and then I'm pretty sure we're going to be moving into the rock solid Zimbabwean currency. Now, some people are skeptical about this, or they'll say that we're stupid moving into these, but they're just jealous. They're just jealous that they didn't think of it first, and that they waited too long and now it's really expensive to get into these, but it's still not too late. I think they're fooling themselves, but hopefully they'll realize pretty soon how beautiful these are, and how valuable they are, and how these actually aren't as hyperinflationary as these, because they printed way more of these than of these beautiful Zimbabwe banknotes. So thanks for watching my video, and please rate and comment.